Welcome and thank you for watching. As always, this is Afro Revolt, a channel that tries to bring whatever is trending globally. Today, I want to bring this Negro who is talking and making things right and throws blames at the blacks to stop crying and stops blaming the whites for the lack or for their predicaments. He's trying to enlighten the blacks that you have to do something. This is not a moment that you have to play a victim and always blame it on the white man. Education is one of the tools that can be used to change how the perception of people is across the globe. So what should be done is through getting the right education that will make us equal to the whites. So let us watch this video and make a reaction in the end.
It is in more than interesting proposition that America is institutionally racist. And before I address the narrative, the emotion, the misconceptions, the misused facts or badly applied facts that have been put out here tonight, I'd like to start with a simple quote. There is a class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they do not want to lose their jobs. There is a certain class of race problem solvers who don't want the patient to get well. That was said by Booker T. Washington. This is an esteemed body, one that sponsors and invites debate. Yet just an hour or so ago, someone who was invited to this body to test his mettle, a chief person to the right hand of Barack Obama, to the right hand of Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York, to, in many ways, as he puts it, the right side of the blacks in America, Al Sharpton, accepted and then refused to come and debate for this body. Attorney General Eric Holder, Attorney General of the United States, said that America is a nation of cowards when it comes to race. In fact, what we stand here and do today, and what someone like Al Sharpton does not do, shows that the cowardice lies with those who would push a narrative, demand retribution when none is required, but do not show up to face the public, either those who support them or detractors. Why is that important to what we do here today? It has been said before, but I will repeat it. The proposition that America is institutionally racist requires that something creates an environment. Two things create an environment for slavery or racism, and they are needed for it to exist. One is a social contract, as in the South during slavery. Two, codified law. Neither of those things exist in American culture today. And in fact, if they did exist as such, then the UK would also be guilty of same. The British Social Attitudes Survey of 2001, 25% of Brits are very or little prejudiced against people of other races. In 2013, 30% of Brits are very little prejudiced or little prejudiced against people of other races. I also reject that because it is a survey. It is a poll. It is not a reflection of the British community, nor is it a reflection of the American community. The issues of racism and prejudice will always exist. That is something we can state honestly and factually. It is how we get to the solutions that matter. Abraham Lincoln, as my colleague said, fought a war to preserve the Union. That republic allowed for the people of the United States, under our Constitution, to amend it, therefore removing slavery, and then moving forward to the Voting and Civil Rights Act, and also the suffrage movement for women. These are great acts in our society. The issues that plague blacks in America, or anyone who is disadvantaged, have too many factors for me to address in 8 minutes or 8 hours. But in our society, we continue to address them with actions, not with narrative, not with conspiracy theories about DEA creating drugs, or not with conspiracy theories about agencies forming groups to go after blacks in some way. There are many examples I can counter. One, by the way, by one of the speakers, just for a point of information, George Zimmerman was not a police officer, therefore you should use a better example. Using wrong examples to present an argument leads us nowhere forward. I understand the emotion and I respect my opposition, but when you go into the areas of making false charges and living in the past, you do not address the issues of the present. In the present, and factually so, and you can do the research regardless, this is not a political issue, it is not a one or the other issue, it is a very complex, nuanced issue. If you find in your heart that America is not advanced as a nation, then you must accept that Britain is not advanced as a nation. That all of the world in the first world is not advanced in any manner. Therefore, you must accept that all is static and societies never change for the better or the worse. To anyone who believes that America is institutionally racist, I'll challenge you to do this. Go into communities and deal with problems by examining the roots of those problems, the foundations. The foundation of many problems starts with the individual, and there are factors. There are factors of education. It is right to say that there are disadvantaged people in America. 13% of the population is black, 17% Hispanic, majority white and mixed other race, Asian at 3%. But when you take a look at the problem, you must address the foundation and the factors. Education, a family structure. In the 1960s, 80+% of blacks were two-parent homes. Today, that is reversed completely the other way. It has a lot of factors, which includes entitlement systems, the growth of liberalism to a point of progressivism beyond any imagined course. Education comes from a strong or blended family unit. That is your best path to success. And when it comes to single parentage of anyone of any ethnicity, a single mother has a higher likelihood significantly of being in poverty, therefore raising a child in poverty. I'm addressing foundation because it is easy to argue, as my colleagues have, the emotion, the misapplication of facts, and the narratives. But if we do not address the foundation of a problem, and we have in America, we will not advance as a society. And to correct a misspeak by my colleague Charlie Wolf, he tried to correct himself in amongst the cheers and the jeers. He meant to say America is not perfect, but working towards a more perfect union. And that is something we can all take as human beings. Look for solutions. Do not fall into false claims. Do not follow charlatans. Do not follow shakedown artists who want to draw you into arguments rather than have true debate on substance. And that is what we're here to do. I thank you for the invitation. I thank you for having me. And I want to leave you with this thought. We talk about skin color. Our skin is an organ. It does not think, it does not formulate ideas. It is merely the genetic result of our parents. Our ability to use our brain and reason in a free society, such as in America, is why we have overturned the blight and the negative aftermath of racism that began with colonial slavery. America is a land of opportunity, as promised in our Declaration of Independence, and preserved legally in our Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We have amended our Constitution and we have evolved as a nation. Our people stand proud to support and defend opportunity and freedom for all. Thank you, President Whedon. Thank you to the members of this body, my colleagues, and my opposition.
Now that you have watched this video, a lot of questions should ring into your mind. Is it the problem of the blacks that we are facing this situation? Is Africa not changing because we haven't built a right perception towards transforming the old narrative of white supremacy? Is it a moment that we will be crying, or rather throwing blames at the whites for whatever is happening in Africa, yet there's something that we can do? Is there anything that we can do right from the younger generation moving forward to even the older generation that can make Africa or black regions where blacks live, for instance, where black Americans reside, so that we make it a better and we be proud of it? Those are the questions that I beg to ask my audience, because this is a conversation that should be sparking or should ring in different audiences, so that we make things right. Because when we make things right, that is when will move forward as the African continent, and even as the blacks who feel or always feel the infringement of the whites. One thing that I like about this video is because it touches on the importance of education and how education can be used to transform the whole world. This is not a moment that we have to blame the white man for one or two. This is a progressive movement that we should form to allow us make things the way they should be. One of the best ways as a black man to change the world is through doing the right, or through undergoing the right education and building the right skills. And let's use these right skills to build our continent. We cannot be importing even labor or skillful expertise from abroad and expect our graduates to still see their worth or be worthy in front of these men. They have to feel inferior, and that is what should change. Our leaders should be in the front line in ensuring that Africa changes and Africa becomes a better place. This message was addressing Americans, and it was more of giving highlights on the education system in America, but still the black factor is being brought in play. It means that even Africans, as Africans, you know, black Americans originated from Africa. This is your message, and it is a message that we can use across different facets of life, so as to change this narrative that we can never move forward as a continent. Now, I want to see what you have to say about this. Hit our comment section and tell us what you think this video is highlighting. I have just given my commentary, but you can also give your view on how you feel about it. Also, if you are watching us for the first time, I urge you to subscribe, because that is when we will have a long-term engagement and you'll get a notification when we bring a new video. Now, do not also forget to like and share. Thank you And at this moment, I just wish you blessings of the Lord.